Here we are in the Ocean Reef Association in Key Largo, Florida, a very unique place. It is made up of 800 single-family homes, buildings that house 800 condominiums, and 165 boat slips of all sizes. It's a wonderful place to live, and we have been undergoing a project in partnership with Comcast, which is probably another one that's unique, maybe in the world. We're very proud of it. We've been working with them to actually take the coax out of the ground without disturbing the community and put fiber in its place. These people are used to having great service. So what we would have to do with this project is to actually try to do it without disturbing what they expect. And what they expect is that their homes are going to still look beautiful, that their roads are going to still work, even though we are changing over the entire system from a coax-based system to a fiber optic system.
A major factor for us in choosing Comcast was the ability to minimize the disruption to the community using the underground coax replacement process. We actually considered a range of possibilities, different technologies, including wireless, and then settled on fiber as being the most reasonable way to proceed in the future. And we looked at other possible suppliers of the fiber solution, but several things made Comcast a logical choice. One was its existing presence in the community. Very willing to work with the community on a customized program that understood the unique needs of Ocean Reef and the kinds of residents we have here.
Deep Fiber Solutions is one of our underground contractors that we use. The technique they use is a customer-friendly technique. We go in and we'll place and push out the existing cable that's there. We'll use that cable as much as we can, and we'll pull our fiber through that cable. It's environment friendly. The fluid they use, they really don't get it on the ground or in the ground. They reclaim it. It's not left in as a contaminant. They can do probably twice as much in a day as your normal construction practice. It's a better product all the way around because we're replacing cable that's 30 years old with fiber optics. It has to get better. It has to be more reliable. What does that mean to the customer? Fiber's coming all the way into your home. Now you have the capability for higher speeds if you choose. It's great. They love it. They walk away saying, hey, didn't even know Comcast was there. Why can't we do this elsewhere? From that standpoint, I think that's what the customer will see. Better quality and more reliable.
We partnered up with Comcast to go in and retrofit the old coax that I have in my hand here with a new fiber that gives it a lot more benefit to upgrading a system. Some examples are reliability, troubleshooting, a better product being delivered. The fascinating thing about Deep Fiber Solutions is we can go into a neighborhood and we do not have to disrupt the folks. We do not tear up the roads. We do not do any kind of underground boring. We are basically seamless when it comes to upgrading their system. The problems and the issues that customers face today with their cable TV, with a fiber optic system, you don't have any of those. So we're able to build a system while keeping the old system on, so the subscribers don't lose any service whatsoever.
Once the surveys and the drops are complete, we implement a temp plan. We use a fiber-based temp solution. We get that laid out, we get it activated, and then we swing the customers over as quickly as possible. Once that's complete, we then begin the core extraction process and the fiber blowing as well. We inject soap-like fluid, completely biodegradable, into the line. We extract the inside of the coax cable. Once that's extracted, we blow out and reclaim all the fluid that's in there. Then we hook up a fiber blower machine, which pushes and blows at the same time a section of fiber through the line that we just extracted. The result is that you get fiber through a system with minimal amount of tear and disruption of the current settings. It goes fairly quickly, anywhere from a day to a couple of days.
The next step in the process for us is the fiber optic preparation, building the network as we go out. That consists of fiber splicing. We are tying together 3 cables at this location, and that will eventually feed these buildings that we're seeing around us. As we're going along here, we're going to be tying in the pedestals that you're seeing. At the same time, while we're doing all this, there is a temporary system that is running side by side here that is keeping everybody active. At the end of the process, we're doing a verification with optical testing this industry standards and making sure everything is good here, and then turning it over to Comcast at that point.
My role as a community account representative is to help educate the residents here at Ocean Reef about all the products, which helps them cut down on escalations and any other issues they would have. Another role is liaison between the staff here at Ocean Reef and the rest of the people at Comcast, such as maintenance, construction. So when they're struggling to reach those people, I'll be there to make sure that they get all of that help. Another one of my roles is the inbound and outbound telemarketing. I worked in conjunction with the CST teams as well as the marketing teams to set up a center where the residents could call in and we could call out in order to ensure that every resident here at Ocean Reef would get installed.
These condominiums have been here about 40 years. So they're old structures, and many of them had very old wiring and needed a considerable amount of work. Our owners have given access to Comcast over the last several months, and Comcast has really worked incredibly and diligently to rewire a lot of the homes and going floor to floor, figuring out what it was going to take to get these units wired properly. What was surprising was bringing the new fiber to our condominiums was that they did not have to dig up the roads, that they were able to use the existing cable and through some miracle of science, run the new cable through what was already in place. So it was really a minimum of disruption, both to traffic and to the aesthetics of the roads.
The most important television in our home, I think, is the one in the kitchen, and installing that particular cable, which comes through all of our cables come through the ceiling. Comcast went to put that cable together into the box and gave it a little tug, it came apart in the ceiling. Comcast got up in the attic on a day like today, which is a very hot day, and realized that when the kitchen cabinets have been put in, they probably cut the wire and spliced into it in order to make it a different size to fit into the cabinet. Well, that splice came apart, and if you look at the splice, it really wasn't done well. So instead of splicing into that cable, they ran a brand new cable up through the cabinetry, in through the attic, and over to our control box, which I think is above and beyond to do the whole brand new cable. Our custom cabinetry, they had to take a piece of the molding out in order to do that, which we gave them permission to do. But if you go into the kitchen now and look at that, it looks the same as it was before they even touched it. So I was very impressed with that. So not only is our television better, our internet strength is better, and speed, obviously, and you get the added benefit of the Comcast X1 remote. So to me, it's a win situation for everybody.
When I heard they were going to be running the cable in the ground, I called the community association and mentioned that when we built this house in 1995, we did not run a cable to the house because we were going to use DirecTV for our service and AT&T for our telephone. I met with Comcast and we discussed it, and we decided that we were going to have to run a cable through my driveway, and discovered that that the fiber cable ran in both sides of the street, and they installed a cable or a pedestal inside my area where my meters are, and able to run a short distance to where it comes into the house by our pool equipment. So they saved us all that time. Now I've got the Comcast television, I have the Comcast internet, and I have the Comcast telephone, which to me is the best feature. I had having static with AT&T, and now I've got a crystal clear line, and I think the telephone is great. The internet is very fast, and we're getting good TV reception, so everything's fine. And I don't have to worry about thunderstorms like I did with DirecTV.